guys, welcome to the month of December astrology, and we got a lot to talk about opening this first week. We've got a lot of shifting vibes going on. On the 1st of December, actually, we had Mercury enter the sign of Capricorn. Today, Monday, December 4th, we have Venus entering the sign of Scorpio. That's two personal planets changing signs this week. This is going to create probably like a palpable vibe shift. Things are likely to intensify in the realms of love and money. We also have Venus and Pluto in a square today and yesterday as well. This is also like adding to the intensity of the new Venus vibe as she's entered the sign of Scorpio. We're going to be talking about that today. And the other thing that we have going on with Venus right now, as she has made her entrance into Scorpio, is she's coming into a trine with Saturn actually in the sign of Pisces. This is the one aspect right now that is sort of like grounding us and tethering us to reality on some level. We have Neptune stationing direct in the sky this week in the sign of Pisces as well. This is putting a very strong, heavy emphasis on the Neptunian influence, which is this like walking daydream, sort of living in a fantasy land, maybe feeling like we need to escape reality on some level, or questioning what is even real and what is not. And very also like mystical, spiritual type of energy coming through this week as well. So, we've got sort of like interplay of planets going on that is quite contradictory, and it'll be interesting to see how things weave themselves together this week. Lots to talk about. Let's get into it, you guys. Let's look at this energy in some more detail, talk about how things are coming together for us to open our month of December and what they might be looking like in our experience as we move through this week. Welcome back to my channel, you guys. Today is Monday, December 4th, 2023. My name is Aubrey. This is your astrological outlook of the day, where we are narrating the shift of the ages. In this video, we're going to be talking about the energy as we have it coming together to start our week this week, kicking off this month of December. And if you guys stick with me till the end of the report, I have also done a collective tarot reading for us today as well. I like to tap the energy field from more than one modality whenever I am looking at energy or assessing the energy, just to sort of get an alternative energetic viewpoint on what is going on. So there could be some messages in there for you as well. Let's get started with the astrology. This is probably going to be a strange week. This is going to be a very Neptunian week, where all of the themes and archetypal features and characteristics associated with the planet Neptune are kind of running the show. Therefore, Neptune is the dream, Neptune is the illusion, Neptune is the invisible realms, like all that is unseen, the spirit world, and essentially like where we return to after we are no longer in the embodiment of the reality, like physical plane. Okay, so whenever we're dealing with Neptunian energy, this is sort of like this transcendental, like metaphysical, mystical energy. Like Neptune energy has a tendency of dissolving things. While, if you guys caught my December overview, I was talking a lot about this. Jupiter is actually the primary player planet for the month of December, which is indicating some good things coming for us this month. There is also a strong Neptune influence, specifically the first week, this week, and also I think it was the third week of December, because this week we have Neptune stationing direct in the sky, which is, like I said, creating a very strong Neptune influence this week, primarily in the energy of Wednesday and moving towards the end of the week. But that third week, I think it was, and again, it may not be exactly the third week, but it's somewhere around there, we're having both the Sun and Mars come into a square with Neptune as well. So Neptune is being featured energetically in some pretty prominent ways throughout the course of this month of December, of course, starting with this week with Neptune stationing direct. And also remember, the Neptune energy is very pure right now. It's very powerful. It's very refined, because Neptune is in his home sign of Pisces. So this is like the quintessential Neptunian energy that we're dealing with. So that being said, especially throughout the course of this week, and again, as we hit the energy of Wednesday and moving into Thursday, when Neptune is stationing on Wednesday, things are likely just to be a bit maybe like intangible, a bit daydreamy. We may have a very low, we may find ourselves just feeling like not having a lot of like physical energy, like kind of just wanting to rest, relax, maybe like feeling like we need some extra sleep, having some really, profound dreams or more of these like spiritual, mystical experiences. With Venus in the sign of Scorpio as well, we're also like very inclined towards sort of like the metaphysical or the like occult, or just like a very strong spiritual connection that we're kind of like relating to with the Venus energy, and having a desire to deeply connect with as well. So this could be also like a very, very spiritual week where, the veil between worlds is very thin when we have a Neptune station. So, great week for experiencing maybe some things that are usually more kept in like the invisible realms or the invisible sides of life and reality. And it could just translate into kind of this like strange week, unusual stuff happening. Also, another thing, like I was saying, if there's some business that needs to be handled, if there's some stuff that you need to get done in the matrix, like, or in the 3D, or like just something like, more that there needs to be like a level of attention to detail, or just that needs to just have some focus and some structure to it in some type of way. The energy for Tuesday is the most supportive this week for that type of thing, because as we will discuss as we move through this report, Venus is coming into a trine with Saturn, which is a very, very contradictory energy to the Neptune vibe, and even to the other aspect that Venus is making, Venus square Pluto. It's interesting. There's definitely like some type of, it seems like, contradictory energy or like push or pull going on, but it does seem like, wherever we land at the end of whatever maybe like inner struggle we have going on this week, like there's a level of maturity or a level of wisdom, or even maybe like some type of test that we pass or something, or for some reason it's like easier for us to maybe do the right thing, or to do something different, or to make the responsible choice, or something that maybe we wouldn't have in the past. This is also kind of like cycle breaking energy that I feel like we have coming through in the context of these Venus aspects that we have going on to start the week, because on one hand, Venus leaving the sign of Libra, she hits the exact square to Pluto in the very end of Capricorn. As soon as she enters the sign of Scorpio, she begins building into this exact trine with Saturn. And it's interesting because Venus and Pluto together, this is like almost like an obsessive compulsion or impulse, like very powerful pulls with it from within to like have some type of possession over something, or to fill some type of internal void. It's just kind of like this frenzied desire for something on these very like base instinctual levels in some ways. But the Venus trine Saturn energy, this is this is a much more conservative energy. This is self-restraint and like pulling things back, and like sophistication and refinement, and like class and like traditionalism and stuff. It's the maturity. Okay, whereas the Pluto energy, that's sort of like the raw impulse. So Venus is in both of these dynamics basically simultaneously to start our week this week. But it's, she starts in the square to Pluto, but she actually ends in the trine to Saturn. So I feel like maybe it's this progression where, we're feeling maybe compelled to maybe fall back into an old habit, or to do something, that we really want, or maybe find ourselves like obsessing over something. But because of the way the energy progresses over a couple days or beginning this week, it's like we move more towards the maturity that is causing us to be more responsible, or to honor ourselves more, like a level of self-respect on a deeper level coming through somehow, that is like causing us to make like a karmically productive choice that releases us maybe from some cycle of behavior or attraction or attachment that wasn't good for us in some way, and helps us bridge like on deep emotional levels as well, with Venus being in the sign of Scorpio, to a level of maybe like self-respect or like inner value or something that is causing us to be more restrained or responsible or respectful in terms of our desires, actions, wants, and preferences. But it's weird also because, like I said, it's also like this positive karmic impact happens for some reason, because moving forward, like as after we get through this week, things are really likely to start working in our favor in some very positive ways. Like we should all start feeling pretty good, like some good news should be coming, or we should just feel like expanded on some level, like a good mental state also. And this basically is a vibe that we have with us through the rest of the month. In fact, so much so that the one thing we sort of need to look out for in the month of December is biting off more than we can chew, taking on more than we can handle, overcommitting ourselves, or, overvaluing the presentation of something just because we are feeling so good and there is such an enthusiastic, optimistic, hopeful, like hyped up sort of energy going on, and we are likely to feel so kind of like on top of our game throughout the majority of this month, that the one thing we do need to look out for is overdoing things, overcommitting, like I said, overindulging, overvaluing, taking on more than we can handle, overspending and stuff like that as well, because like we think that something is just like the greatest thing in the world, and then maybe after this energy passes. We also have Mercury going retrograde this month, so there's gonna be some reevaluating and some reconsidering going on as well. So all that type of stuff. But, we are beginning that with this week, as Mercury has entered the sign of Capricorn. Mercury is moving into a trine with Jupiter that is going to be present all month long. And at the end of this month, Jupiter will actually go direct as well. So, we are moving towards a positive, beneficial time for all of us in some way, where there's going to be, something working in our favor, some type of good news, like I said, or, something good that we feel like is starting to happen for us. However, this week specifically, there's also likely to be this very delusional energy going on, or like lost in a fantasy land, not maybe sure what is real. And the experience, this might sound weird, but like the experience that we imagine that we are having, for better or worse, is likely to be very exaggerated throughout the course of this week. Neptune rules the illusion, and we've got a lot of Jupiter energy going on right now. We've got Mars and Sun in the sign of Sagittarius, ruled by Jupiter. And we've also got Black Moon energy going on as well this week, which is like fears, worries, insecurities, doubts being triggered, especially in terms of like, our imperfections, or what we haven't been able to do, what we've been procrastinating on, or this could be financial or material based concerns, or also like health based, lifestyle based, or resource based concerns in some way, with the Black Moon currently being in the sign of Virgo. And of course the Black Moon is being activated because the moon is also transiting Virgo to start our week. Whenever we have the moon in the sign where the Black Moon is, or opposing the Black Moon, this is what activates our Black Moon energy, which is the shadow side of things. So, we're going to, Mercury, now in the sign of Capricorn, moving into a trine with Jupiter, is going to be creating positive mindsets for the most part, uplifting us and helping us to feel more confident, more self-assured, and just more faithful generally. But just getting started in this week with Venus coming out of square to Pluto, and, Venus also entering the sign of Scorpio, which can kind of like plunge us into the depths of feelings of some things, kind of like immersed in maybe like the darker side of things to do with like love and money and finance stuff, can also like surface fears. It's also very like fixating again and like obsessing over stuff also. And then the Black Moon energy coming up with the moon in exact conjunction, and all the Neptune energy. Energy is skewed to the positive this week, but we also don't want to let our fears get the best of us. A lot of people are likely to be living out their imagination in an exaggerated way this week. Like I said, whether we are, imagining, our fears in an exaggerated way, or whether we're imagining all the possibilities and the potentials in sort of like a grandiose, imaginative way, that's just kind of likely to be where people are geared. And honestly, like not much that goes on this week. Again, like Tuesday is an exception because of the Venus-Saturn trine energy, which is essentially like just the opposite to all this other energy. And it is actually like very constructive energy for being practical and being realistic when it comes to commitments and deals and finances and stuff like that. So Tuesday's the day, you guys. Like if there's business that needs to be handled, do it Tuesday, because moving into Wednesday, and as we're just in this couple days of this strong Neptune energy, like literally nothing that happens during that period of time is likely to be real, is likely to translate into really anything, like is likely to come to anything. Neptune, again, it washes things away, it dissolves things, it breaks things down, it erodes things. It has a very, very hard time like stabilizing. Okay, so if people are just caught in their fantasy land or caught in their delusions at this point in time, just kind of let them have it, let them do it, and don't feel like, especially, it's your job to correct people or to tell people how things are, or to tell people what's going on. We are all likely, honestly, to be caught in a level of personal, not seeing things exactly clearly to some extent, or maybe just like in a very enhanced state of like prayer and spiritual connection as well. Remember, that's another octave of this energy, this like with Venus and Scorpio also, this like deep yearning for spiritual connection and understanding the deeper mysteries and the deeper truths, and being able to see and penetrate into the unknown and the spiritual sides of things. And with the Neptune veil so thin right now, this could genuinely be part of our experience also. So more, I would say, and we, like I said, Venus in the trine to Saturn, this is also sort of like hermit mode energy. This is not a great week, to seeing shows or like listening to music or, being creative. This is Neptune energy, is very, very creative energy. This is a very powerful, I will say, we do have a very powerful manifestation potential going on with the Neptune influence so strong, which is like the mind's eye, like being able to, use your inner vision to communicate to your subconscious mind that which needs to be brought, or which you desire to be brought into the reality. And then also with the Venus Saturn influence, this can be like a stabilizing, grounding force in the tangible reality. So there is a very strong potential over this couple of days, opening this week, and I guess throughout the course of this week generally, for our feelings to translate into real things in the future somehow. But it's like if we are trying to make things happen in the world now, it's likely not to come to anything. However, if you are practicing like conscious manifestation, or where you're fixating your imagination or your inner vision or your feelings, and like I said, that fixating word purposely, I didn't even realize I said it, but the fixed energy of the Scorpio in the trine to Saturn as well. Whatever we're fixating on emotionally and within our mind's eye and within our imagination beginning this week has a very strong likelihood of translating with the trine to Venus, just manifesting, translating into reality. With the black moon present, again, we're going to want to watch letting our fears become, what we're manifesting and creating by overly exaggerating our imagination of them in this energy. Okay, so we really want to do our best to stay out of a state of worry, being in that state of faith, and then using this energy with the knowledge that it has such a strong manifestation potential to consciously focus our feelings and our mind's eye onto that which we wish to create. And then moving into the Jupiter energy, you guys, this is actually like a very, very powerful couple day window to manifest and to create that which we truly want to bring into fruition, as long as it's in alignment with our highest path and like our best. And the whole pursuit right now with the North Node in the sign of Aries, of us like redefining ourselves back in alignment with a more authentic version of ourselves that can activate like some type of layer or dimension of destiny that is trying to come online right now, as well as we are transitioning into the age of Aquarius. So, there's a big cosmic blueprint unfolding underway right now. It is generally over this next couple of years gearing us all towards this re-identification with the self and re-ignition of like our true purpose and our true destiny that we're becoming aware of and stepping into. And at this point in time, the part of the process that we are in that is moving us in that direction has a lot to do with what we're creating, essentially opening this month of December via what we're in visual, what we're holding in our mind's eye, and what we're holding in our emotional body with Venus trine Saturn. So if you guys are still with me, that is how I feel like, from the top down, and then kind of from the bottom up, all of this energy right now is working together, short term and long term, to help bring the bigger picture into fruition. But it coming back to where we're at now, more specifically, this could be a week where it is in our best interest to sort of reality check ourselves as we're going about our business, as we're dealing with people, just make sure that we are giving ourselves some reality checks here and there, not allowing ourselves to get too whipped up about stuff or too carried away or too caught in an imagination that maybe is not a reality that we want to experience, as we are being extra aware during this period of time that which we are imagining and that which we are feeling into existence, essentially, with the emotional energy, the water sign energy being the stabilizing energy, with the Venus trine Saturn that we're dealing with, that's coming into existence. So all of that, you guys, feel like some talking about deep and metaphysical and mystical concepts. I feel like that is the magic, okay, literally, that's available to us at this point in time. If you guys saw my December overview, I also called that something about awakening the magic, or magic moments, or the magic is alive, or something about magic in the month of December, because it just, even when I did the overview for the month, it just felt like some magical moments were about to be upon us with all of this Jupiter energy and even the Neptune energy as well. So that's what I have to say about that. Let's go back now and talk a little more specifically about this Venus Scorpio squaring Pluto. First of all, that aspect can bring up these more obsessive tendencies, being, again, very possessive when it comes to the Venetian themes, and the desire for intensity also. When we've got Venus moving into Scorpio and Venus square Pluto, that just generically has a tendency of bringing up intense circumstances between or having to do with money, with love, with relationships, with partnerships, with financial situations. Again, all of the Venus themes. The dark side of the feminine is likely actually to be quite emphasized, especially Sunday into Monday this week. Like I said, we are in very active black moon energy, the moon coming into a conjunction with the black moon, of course, the black moon representing the literal, dark side feminine energy. Also, this Venus stuff going on, Venus squaring Pluto, that can have a tendency of bringing out sort of the dark side feminine energy. And then Venus entering Scorpio, this is also, right, Venus not afraid to get a little bit dirty in the darker side of things. It can bring out the the more shadow side feminine energy. And when we combine all of these different energetic things that we have going on right now into, one day or a couple of days, it is just, we may find ourselves on some level to some extent, or just people in our experience maybe being a bit of an embodiment of the more Lilith dark feminine energy. We could sort of feel a little bit of that just stirring within us, provoking us in some ways, or we may see it reflected back to us by our experience at large, because it is just a more potent dark feminine energy coming through with, that triplicity of energy, the black moon activated, Venus square Pluto, and simultaneously Venus at 0 Scorpio. 0, of course, being a very powerful degree. It's also, though, I will say, to that same extent, this is also a really, really great energy for powerfully healing the heart, okay, on some very deep levels, deep psychic levels, deep subconscious levels, deep penetrating, okay, kind of maybe profound or cathartic, heart-based purge, purification, regeneration, healing on some very deep levels could be coming through at this point in time as well. And there's also likely to be a very low tolerance, very zero tolerance for any type of BS. Also just not really having it, and volatility in relationships could be a thing that we are seeing to start the week as well. Probably also a rather ruthless in pursuing desires. Again, Venus and Pluto can just manifest in terms of the yearning, the compulsion, the deep draw, okay, to get what needs to be gotten, to fulfill a desire, to get what we want, because Venus, wants what she wants, okay? But like I said, we have this conflicting energy going on. So for all of this Venusian intensity that is represented by everything I just got done discussing, there is still likely to be like this counter force, this balancing restraint as a result of the Venus moving then into the trine with Saturn, which, you know, we've talked a lot about. This is also part of that manifestation energy coming through. But, you know, Venus trine Saturn, this is self-restraint. This is sophistication or some type of like protocol or something that is like limiting or holding back to some extent the intensity of the Venus Scorpio energy. I do feel like, as I've said several times, this is the energy that's actually like tethering us to reality, like keeping our feet on the ground, like keeping us from like totally just floating away in all of this Neptune energy this week. And it is maturity winning out ultimately, I think, the way that it's presenting over the compulsion or over the obsession or over the addiction even. Venus square Pluto can often result in addiction and addictive type behavior over the impulse. And it may, like I was talking about, there may really be sort of like this internalized struggle that we are dealing with between these two forces this week, specifically in terms of relationships, of money, or of just like our preferences, our tastes, and what we want, who we want to be. Remember, we also just had a Venus South node conjunction, which is, you know, probably bringing up some issues of like who we don't want to continue to be or who we no longer wish to associate with. Moving into then the square with Pluto and then followed by this trine with Saturn, you know, there could be some breakdown that is going on. Again, like I said, some purge or some purification, or really maybe having to face some shadows or some darker sides of ourselves or others or something in this energy. But ultimately, with the ending, with the Venus trining Saturn, this is gaining wisdom, gaining maturity, passing a test, like deciding to pull back, like deciding to honor to honor or to respect the responsibility or the duty or, you know, the system or the protocol. This is a much more conservative energy than Venus in square to Pluto. So there could be this, you know, interplay or this conflict going on within us between sort of like this raw instinctual desire that we're being like compulsively pulled towards, or maybe some type of like addictive behavior or something, and also the desire to like overcome something, to like endure through something, to limit ourselves in some way, to hold ourselves back somehow, or to conserve something about ourselves somehow. We could find ourselves struggling with like what we really want to do, right? What we feel compelled to do, what we just want to do, up against, you know, what we know we should do somehow. Internalized struggle. However, the Pluto Venus happened over the weekend. The the Venus Saturn happens on Tuesday, right before the station of Neptune in the sky. So this is the energy that we're coming into. This is also the energy that is indicating some type of like positive karmic situation that has occurred, which means, you know, that we have overcome something, that we have endured through something, that we have made the right choice, that, you know, that it's like the devil and the angel on the shoulder, you know, Pluto or Saturn. Am I going to choose, you know, what I really want to do, but that could be self-destructive, or am I going to choose, you know, what maybe isn't that tasty like initially, but will be good for me in the long term? You know, it's like, am I going to choose to eat the Big Mac, or am I going to choose to eat the salad? You know what I mean? And ultimately choosing at this point in time, maybe every other time we always would have chosen the Big Mac, but maybe when we're put in this situation for whatever reason, because of what we've been through or something at this point in time, you know, we really, really, really struggle with it as a metaphor for whatever that could be. But that's like kind of the, you know, or like the chocolate, you know, like what we really want, you know, what we would prefer over what we know is good for us. But we end up making the choice of what is good for us in the long term with Saturn Venus. And it indicates also, again, Saturn being the Lord of time, the Lord of karma, and this month now heading directly for this very uplifting, positive Jupiter energy. Something good comes from our ability to do what is best long term somehow. moving through the energy to begin this week. So I don't know, that's what it's looking like, and I would expect scenarios along those lines to be manifesting somehow. But this energy could also, with Neptune stationing immediately after, transition us somehow into some type of fantasy land. So we're going to want to do our reality checks, and we're going to want to just make sure that we are not allowing ourselves to get too swept away, especially, and also like idealism or rose-colored glasses, like all that type of stuff could be very strong in the air as well, while we're dealing with the Neptune station energy. But, you know, it does look like perhaps some intensity in the Venetian realms of whatever we got going on, especially following Venus's conjunction of the South Node in her sign of Libra, and then her square to Pluto in Libra, entering Scorpio. Some type of an emotional maturity or like pragmatism, class sophistication, something that puts us in a good position moving forward somehow. So that's what I got there, you guys. Tuesday, like I said, the best day of the week to make decisions about stuff, purchases, investments, commitments, deals. I would get it done on Tuesday if possible. And then if it's needing to happen on another day, like if that's just the way things are falling into place and it's just out of your control, also it's in a divine alignment. It is meant to be that way, but just keep in mind, you know, whatever it is likely not to manifest or transpire the way that it is agreed upon or spoken about or presented in this energy. But what is likely to manifest in this energy is how we are really feeling and what we are imagining in our minds. So what's happening in the reality, you guys, this week is not likely to be real or turn into anything. What is happening in our emotional body and in our imagination and inner vision, that is what is likely to become real moving forward. There is a huge tendency to overestimate things and people and their value and their beauty and all the, like, everything about them essentially over this week. So be very careful getting caught in any type of an illusion, biting off more than you can chew, or promising too much. That's my main advice after Tuesday, okay? So that's what I have to say. That's where we're at to start our week of shifting vibes. You know, like I said initially, things a bit serious, kind of want to maybe tread lightly around people. This dark side feminine energy, it can be kind of ruthless. It doesn't really love to, you know, get its feet stepped on and stuff like that. So we're kind of just going to want to stay in our lane to start this week. Keep our mind and our eye on the prize, all right? Not let ourselves get down by or dwell too much in any type of fears. A lot of what is going on this week is it's going to come to naught, okay? But our what we do want to do is use this energy to heal our heart on these deeper levels, you know, let go of things that have been keeping us attached to things that have been disempowering, or, you know, keeping us distanced or detached from our truth in some type of way, and to, you know, cultivate our spiritual connection, right? Prayer, meditation, you know, just paying attention to patterns, paying attention to the more subtle, like, energetic things that are going on around us, all right? And not necessarily trying to control what is happening in the 3D world, because it's very lucid right now. So that's what I'm going to say. The Sabian symbol of the sun on Monday, also a widow's past is brought to light. You know, this, you know, going deep, shining light into the darkness, maybe getting into some things that where we don't normally like to go, or we don't usually like to talk about, or again, like this Venus Scorpio energy, right? Like not hiding maybe from like the darker side of things, okay? This dark side feminine energy, and illuminating some things for us as well as we begin the month of December. Remember, we also have a Mercury Jupiter trine that is the fundamental vibe that we have going on all month, this month of September, and this is going to be, again, this energy of big news, big information, eye-opening stuff, revelations, also good news, big ideas, just very things that are like very much like opening our mind, expanding, like broadening our horizons, and helping us to see the bigger picture about things. So things being brought to light throughout the course of the month of December as well. And that's what I have to say today, you guys, about the astrology. That's where we're at. Let's talk about the tarot for a minute now. We actually got a pretty short tarot message, but it is, I feel like it's just all we need to hear right now, and it's very much to the point. So I'm just gonna say, you guys, we have nothing to worry about, okay? And we just need to hold on to like our goals and our projects and, you know, what is dear to us at this period of time, and like carry on. We should not abandon that which we, you know, hold dear and hold close to our heart, and that which we're like working on and trying to grow and develop and bring into fruition right now. And the things that we are securing in our reality now, that we are the seeds that we are planting now, the things that we're cultivating, the things that we're holding on to, like what we are stabilizing in the context of so much that we're letting go of right now that is like no longer in alignment with us, that which we do find valuable, that which we do find precious, that which we do, you know, see the potential in and hold dear and really want to work towards right now. This tarot message is telling us, have no fear, okay? Don't worry, hold on to it, keep working, you know, don't let that go, just keep moving towards it, and it's going to grow into something beautiful. We had one card come out of the tarot deck today in the same shuffling that I usually do, and it was the Four of Pentacles, which to me is talking about that which we value at this point in time, that which we are coming to value now, that which we are coming to find worth in, or again, like the resource or the potential that we feel like is special, that we don't want to hold on to, in the context, again, of all that we have let go of lately. The guidance is not to let go, not to let anything shake us, and to just, you know, keep a hold of that, okay? And then the cards that we have coming out on the back of the deck, we have the Nine of Swords in reverse and the Ten of Pentacles. Don't worry, okay? There is no need to put energy into creating our fears, our worries, or the things that keep us up at night right now. This is actually talking, I feel like, you know, if we hold on to that thing, if we keep cultivating that thing, if we, you know, keep like, a focus on the value associated with whatever we find and are holding close to our heart right now, it's going, look at the Ten of Pentacles is right there. We've got the Four of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles. The value that we are holding on to now is going to grow, and we've got nothing to worry about. And not only is it going to grow, it's going to thrive, it's going to, you know, come into like its ultimate form of potential. So I don't know, you guys, if this is, who this is for out there, or if it's just generally for all of us and it's just something that we need to keep in mind, but it is reminding me of the month of December. It is reminding me of this Jupiter and Taurus energy that we have activated, and Jupiter is on the 30th of December going to be stationing direct. We are going to have, you know, moons in aspect to Jupiter this month, and we've got Mercury in aspect to Jupiter all month long. Things are growing, things are expanding in alignment, you know, with what is good for us. Like, this is blessings, this is success, this is Jupiter's the Santa Claus planet, you know, this is the magic in the air as well. And with the Nine of Swords in reverse, I love this even more, like seeing this card even more than just the progression of, like, you know, that which we're holding on to, nurturing, cultivating, putting energy into right now, becoming something great. But we have nothing to worry, we have nothing to fear, there are no worries. We're gonna be able to sleep well, okay, as we move through this energy. So we can breathe easy in that regard, you guys, even if things do seem a bit intimidating, or, you know, things with the Venus Pluto square are quite intense or coming to a head, or there seems like there's, again, more like this volatile relationship energy going on. Venus is also the Pentacles, and that's what we got here. So, you know, hold on tight, and things are going in a good direction. Let's get a no fears. Let's get a synchronicity card now. What's one more piece of guidance and advice? What should we keep in mind this week, opening our week? What will help us? What do we need to know as this week opens and we do hit all this darker feminine, Venus, Scorpio energy. I have had cards have not been coming out today. I shuffled my tarot cards 3 times and only got 1 card out. And then here we've got 2 cards, okay? And they're exactly what I would expect and perfect device for what we've got playing out. Things are not as they seem, you guys. It's, you know, Neptune, what I've been talking about. And also, what? Forget the past. Okay. Things are not as they seem, and he shall separate them one from another as a shepherd divideth his sheep from the goats. Matthew 25:32. You must know the difference between the false and the true, and that is the question this week. Remove the false and negative thoughts from your mind. Come to a definite decision in your mind that God within you is all-powerful and all-wise. Nothing can oppose God. Remove the fear, the false thoughts. They are not real. Again, that's what I'm talking about, guys. That's literally exactly what that said. The fear and the false thoughts, the 9 of Swords in reverse, like that's not what's real. The illusion, the black moon energy, the Neptune energy, like that's not what's real. We do not want to get caught in imagining the fears. What's real is what we create if we hold our vision of success in terms of whatever we're trying to build, grow, develop right now, okay? They are not real. No, God is opening doors for you. No, the path is being cleared. No, success and achievement is on its way to you so long as you remove the false fears. I don't know that I have ever gotten a synchronicity card that was like so specific to the tarot message. Like that is literally exactly the message that I feel like this tarot reading is giving as well. And now we've got forget the past. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Romans 12:2. Give up your worldly beliefs and learn the truths of life. Feed your subconscious mind with life-giving patterns. Accept the positive aspects of God and let go of all the negativity. Forget the past. Get on with the future. In this way, your spirit will gradually grow and you will reach your goal. So we've got 2 different versions of what we need to pay attention and keep in mind coming in. And this one card, you must know the difference between the false and the true. Remove the false and negative thoughts from your mind. Come to a definite decision in your mind that God within you is all powerful, all wise, and nothing can oppose God. Remove the fear, the false thoughts. They are not real. No, God is opening doors for you. No, the path is being cleared. No, success and achievement is on its way to you so long as you remove false fears. That is the main juice, main tea, everything that we need to know right now. So that's what I gotta say, you guys. Opening our week this week. Message from the stars, a message from the cards. I hope you guys liked it. If you did like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel, you guys. Share it with your friends if you think that they would be interested in this type of astrology content as well. Leave me comments, you guys. I'm so grateful for your presence here. I really value knowing how this energy is affecting you. If you are having experiences that match up with what I'm talking about in these videos, please let me know in my comment section below. If you want to know what's on this whiteboard, I post it in a Facebook group that I have that is linked in my description box below. And come back with me on Wednesday, you guys. Of course, we will be talking about Neptune stationing. So we'll have a very Neptune themed report for Wednesday. I'll be here. You should be here too. You don't want to miss it. I will see you then, guys. And until next time, bye.